Hello and welcome. Today we are doing some practice exercises for strategies for harmonic dictation from which is part 3 and 4 of free response questions in the AP exam. This is from Barron's AP Music Theory 3rd edition. So I will give you the clef, the key signature, the meter, and the first chord and notes of a small excerpt. And then I will play it and I will give you 5 seconds to listen to it, and then I will reveal the answer with an explanation. The directions here say, for each of these questions, you will hear a 4-part harmonic progression. You are to notate only the soprano and bass voices. Do not notate the alto and tenor. On the lines provided under the staff or on your paper, write the Roman and Arabic numerals to indicate the chords and possible inversions. Each progression has 9 chords. The Roman numeral and notes of the first chord are given. So I recommend grabbing some staff paper because they already have the lines, and to pause the video before I play through the example, just to write down how many measures there are in each thing, unless you have the book right in front of you, which would be perfect. That being said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and listen to it as many times as you want. Let us start with the very first question. This is harmonic dictation in A major. Let's listen. And here is the answer, harmonic dictation in A major. So these are only the notes that you have, that you will write down, the soprano and the bass, right in here in front of you. There is, over here we see that it says perfect authentic cadence, and here is a pedal in the bass. So the notes here said, same note in the bass, pedal with a second inversion, and as we learned, the upper neighbor in the soprano. The melodic ending is do, ti, do, 171, and so, do in the bass, the most common bass ending. If we back up one chord, we have fa in the bass with a first inversion supertonic, a very common predominant harmony. Notice that there is a leap in the bass between measures 1 and 2 right here. Remember that leaps often occur between do and so, as it is here, and a leap in the bass often indicate a function change. The first measure is all about the tonic, but the second measure leaps into the dominant function with the root position 5. Let's go on to the next question. Question 2 is harmonic dictation in G minor. And here we have the answer to harmonic dictation in G minor. Here we can also see passing neighboring tones, and we have a deceptive cadence at the end. The note says, this exercise begins with do, fa in the bass and then descends by step. Note the use of the passing second inversion chord. We have often used this progression to create the ascending do, re, mi. Here it is descending in mi, re, do. A classic deceptive cadence occurs as the bass line concludes with do, fa, so, le. Your ear anticipates the tonic, but there is a cadence on the submediant instead. Let's move on to the next question. This is harmonic dictation in B flat major. And here is the answer for harmonic dictation in B flat major. We have another second inversion chord with a passing there. And the note says, in this example, we have a very common beginning paired with a very common ending. Oh, and the ending is an imperfect authentic cadence. You must hear that the last note in the soprano is not do in order to get the cadence correct. Connecting these two is a stepwise passage using the passing dominant second inversion chord. As you listen to the oral prompt, notice the shape, the contour, of the outside voices. Or if you are not able to hear both at the same time, note the shape of just the melody. This is a clue as it continues to descend past the tonic. If you hear the tonic chord but not do in the melody, it can only be mi or so. Work backwards from what you know to help you determine what you don't know. And when in doubt, guess. Question 4 is harmonic dictation in D minor. And here is the answer to harmonic dictation in D minor. Notice that we have a Phrygian half cadence. I think that's the name of it. So the note says, when you know you are in minor, it is wise to anticipate what might be played and think about what that implies. Always consider the leading tone and realize it is often in the soprano or bass because it requires writing the accidental. And realize that where there is a 7th scale degree, there should be a 1 scale degree right after it. The Phrygian half cadence occurs only in minor. Although it is not frequently used, it has appeared in harmonic dictation examples. So listen for the half step lay so in the bass at the cadence. Question 5, which is in harmonic dictation in E minor. And here we have the answer for harmonic dictation in E minor. You can notice that there is a perfect authentic cadence and that we have some secondary harmony. Let's read the note. In this example, we have do, ti, do at the beginning, with the leading tone in the bass, accidental required, and the 7th of the chord in the soprano, both imperative resolutions. Notice that the mid-phrase progression descends in thirds, leading to secondary dominance. The fa, fi, zo. What's the ending pattern in the melody? Take what you have learned from part writing and apply it to harmonic dictation. Let's move on to harmonic dictation in C major. And here is the answer to harmonic dictation in C major. We have a half cadence at the end. Let's read the note. Here we have an ascending stepwise pattern similar to question 4, this time in major, utilizing a secondary dominant chord and ending with a half cadence. Once again, a leap, this time in the melody, is so to do. Hearing the leading tone in the melody on the last note is automatically a half cadence. The dominant chord is the only chord that includes the 7th scale degree that is used at the end of a cadence. Let's move on to question 7, which is harmonic dictation in F minor. And here we have the answer for harmonic dictation in F minor. We have the do, ti, do, te, lay, the syllables written for us at the top. And let's read. We also have a perfect authentic cadence, and let's read the little notes. This example begins with do, fa, me in the bass, which is the seventh of the dominant seventh chord resolving downward in the bass, leading to a chromatic chord that is intensifies the subdominant, the fourth chord. The chromatic pattern is me, mi, fa. The melody is a pattern we have often seen in minor using the leading tone on beat 2, do, ti, followed by the natural minor descending pattern, do, te, le. Let's move on to question 8. This is harmonic dictation in C minor. And here we have the answer to harmonic dictation in C minor. We can see that there is a half cadence at the end. So this example begins with an ascending pattern using the fully diminished leading tone seventh chord in first inversion. The leading tone seventh chord is often in first inversion and, as it does here, moves frequently to the first inversion tonic chord. The progression ends with a half cadence preceded by the dominant seventh chord of the 5/7 over 5 in root position, so a secondary dominance harmony. Let's move on to question 9. Harmonic dictation in A flat major, A flat major. And here we have the answer to harmonic dictation in A flat major. So this example has a passing chord between the tonic and the first inversion tonic. In this case, it is a second inversion dominant seventh chord with a deceptive progression in measure 2, and by now a familiar perfect authentic cadence. Let's move on to question 10. Harmonic dictation in D minor. And here is the answer to harmonic dictation in D minor. We have a secondary dominant function chord, and we also have a deceptive cadence at the end. This exercise requires the use of 3 accidentals, all in the outside voices and all leading tones. The first inversion 7th dominant over the 5 does not resolve to the dominant as you expect. So the D in the melody holds, but it does resolve to the substitute, which is the second inversion tonic chord, which also has so in the bass. It ends with a deceptive cadence. Let us move on to question 11, harmonic dictation in E minor. And here is the answer to harmonic dictation in E minor. You can see we have a perfect authentic cadence and some accidentals. The example in E minor has one tricky chord in the second measure, the leading tone first inversion triad. It is acting as a passing chord between the tonic and the tonic in first inversion. Let's move on to the last question, question 12, harmonic dictation in B flat major. And here we have the answer to harmonic dictation in B flat major. We can see there's some secondary dominance and a perfect authentic cadence. The last measure in B flat major has a circle progression from the fourth chord to the end. This particular example is easier to hear since all the chords are in root position. You must recognize that this so-so-do ending is not the second inversion tonic, but the 5 followed by the 5-7. And that's it for strategies for harmonic dictation for free response 3 and 4 for the exam. Great work. Tell me how you did in the comments. And if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them there. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for hanging out and having a good time with me, or having a horrible time doing music theory, because I know some people just hate it, but I love it. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.